Today on Jenn's Creativity Corner, I'm going to show you how to make your very own bone broth. This time I decided to start with the turkey and I just threw it in the oven like usual. Go ahead and just do minimal seasoning and then just bake it according to directions. I probably definitely overcooked mine, but you know, you do what you do. And you'll want to clean it off well, save all the bones, and I saved some of my skin and the connective tissues, and I put it all in a bag because I was tired. I just took all that time on the turkey, so when I was ready I could make the broth. And I put in all the drippings because it has some fat, but it also has some of the good stuff too. So go ahead and put it in a crock pot. If it's a chicken, I learned my lesson this time. My turkey was definitely too big. So stock pot for a turkey, probably. A chicken will go in a crock pot. And then I have heard of actually doing it in an Instapot, though I haven't tried. So I did have some of that fat you can scrape away, but otherwise we'll take that off later. So transferring my stock pot, you know, this is kind of a gross process for some people and you wonder why would you do that, but it's got a lot of good health benefits. You can see I'm adding in some celery and carrots and onions. These were just scraps that I had from chopping up and leftovers in the fridge, so sometimes I will make it without them. That's optional, just adds that extra flavor and nutrients. And you're going to fill up the water so it's covering everything. So anyway, about why I like to do this. I like to get the most out of it. You know, financially, then I'm not buying broth from the store. But you know, that chicken gave its life so I could eat it, or that turkey, or even you can do this with beef bones. But, you know, make the most of it. And then you are going to add in just a splash of apple cider vinegar and let it sit, if you can, for half an hour. And this is cold water. You want to start off with cold. And that just helps get the breaking down going. So since this is in a stock pot, I just put it on a very low temperature after I got it to a boil for about 24 hours. Just let it simmer. And then you will go ahead and strain it and let it cool a little bit before you go putting it in the fridge so you don't heat up the entire fridge. But just get out all those vegetables and the skin and the bones and any leftover meat and all that goodness. In the bone marrow, there's also some good nutrients that you're getting from this that gets broken down, and we'll show you in the consistency how you can tell that, you know, it's better than the store-bought stuff. So up top, these are just cooling a little bit, but it has a little bit of fat that always comes to the top, and that is not a problem. We'll remove that after it's cooled off. So they've been in the fridge for about a day or two, and they get that fat cap. And then that way, we really don't want to eat chicken fat, but it sorts itself out before you are ready to cook it. So you can store it in these jars, put a lid on after it's completely cooled, or I put mine into some Ziploc bags, put it in the freezer. It just depends on how much you want to use. But go ahead and remove that fat, and you are just left with 100% tasty goodness. You can't really see it that well on the camera, I feel like, but it is actually kind of jelly, a little gelatinous, not just runny liquid like you get from the store. And that's how you know that you really got the nutrients from the bones. So there you go, from beginning to end, that is how you make a basic bone broth. You can do this with fish and beef too. Obviously some changes in the rules of how long and what the procedure is, but it's a good way to get the most out of your animal. And thank you so much for watching here on Jenn's Creativity Corner. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to share with me, that's what that comment section is for. And I hope you will subscribe. I'll be back Thursday with a crafting video. Have a wonderful day.